Hi, Andrew Moore-Crispin here for Gadget TV on Butterscotch.com. Today we're taking a look at the Etch A Sketch iPad case. There's also an Etch A Sketch iPod Touch 4th Gen case, which we have here, and an iPhone 4 case, which we have right here. All pretty much the same. We're going to be taking a look at the iPad version today, obviously. Now, the iPad version of the Etch A Sketch case from Headcase, $39. The other two cases, which we showed you before, $25 each. Now, it's made of impact-resistant plastic here, so it's like a plastic resin. It's not really going to protect your iPad from any sort of severe drops or anything like that, but standard dings, anytime you knock it against a table or something like that, you're protected against that kind of stuff. But because it is a rigid plastic, any shock that hits the case is pretty much 90% of it's going to be transferred down to the iPad anyway. So you can see here we have access to all of our various ports and switches. What used to be the orientation switch, now the mute switch, the volume rocker. On the side here we have access to the 30-pin connector, the speakers, headphone jack, all this stuff. Power button, it's all accessible here. Now the home button is kind of a little bit hard to press now. Not really hard to press, but if you're just kind of typing out on the iPad, you might be used to doing something and then just running over here and hitting this button, but now you really do kind of have to aim a little bit. You can't hit it with your thumb like that. There we go, got it. Now there is also an Etch A Sketch iPad app. Now these knobs don't do anything. You'll be using the knobs on the screen to actually etch your sketch. So these are really just decorative. But these are actually made by the same people, or made in the same factory as the original Etch A Sketch was, so pretty much the closest thing you can get to a real Etch A Sketch. I mean, beyond an actual Etch A Sketch. So now a term I'm using nowadays, trying to coin this phrase, dock blocker. This one is a total dock blocker. So like I showed you have access to the 30-pin connector here. However, because the plastic is raised up like this, any dock that's kind of built for the contours of the iPad, you won't be able to actually get it in there. Even if you have a little bit like a wider dock where it does accommodate a case, the fact that the dock or the 30-pin connector is actually recessed a few millimeters in here means that chances are good the 30-pin connector won't properly reach. Now that's not exactly a problem unique to this Etch A Sketch case. However, what is kind of unique to this case is how difficult it is to get on and off. Could be a good thing if you're just going to put it on there and leave it and you don't ever want it coming off. However, this is the process you have to go through to actually get the thing off. I'll take it off here. Oh, one thing I should show you while we have it off the gadget stand, it does actually have little feet here. And you can see the shiny Apple logo in the back. So it does have little feet here that we can use to put it into kind of a typing orientation, which is a neat touch. However, the aforementioned process to get this thing off, apparently that's the wrong side. So we have these two grooves here. We have to put a coin in and pop it. And as you can see, I'm kind of damaging the plastic here. It's not exactly the easiest thing in the world to do. But you see the general idea here. So getting the thing off, not exactly easy. Like I say, that might be a good thing, it might be a bad thing, it really depends on your perspective. But if you do have an iPad dock that you want to use regularly, definitely something you're going to want to consider, because you're not going to want to go through this process every time you want to just simply dock your iPad. So you can see the case when it's apart, rigid plastic. So a good looking case, nice way to add a little bit of a bit of a retro feel to your iPad, but the dock blocking thing, kind of a bit of a turn off for me. So that's a quick look at the Etch A Sketch case for iPad, iPhone, and iPod. For Gadget TV, I'm Andrew Moore-Crispin. For more sweet stuff, visit Butterscotch.com.